Welcome to this episode of the Own It podcast. And today we're going to be talking about how to turn content into cash. Because really, what are we doing this for if we ain't making some money? So I hope you guys enjoyed the episode.
Actually, for my clients, I prefer them to use their iPhone for their personal brands because just like subconsciously, when you see a video that's too put together, it almost gives the illusion as like
it's not real.
No, not even not real, but this person's selling to me.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? So I want to, like, I always tell people, use your phone because it comes off as you being the most authentic. Because one, I'm naturally introverted, right? Yeah, naturally introverted. So like, because I spent a lot of time behind the camera, what I did to help me get comfortable in front of the camera was for 30 days I would just talk into my phone and then listen to that video, and it'll be so cringeworthy. But I just wanted to hear my voice and get comfortable with hearing this voice, because when you're introverted or you're behind the camera like I was, you don't really hear your voice too much, right? You know, so like I just want to get comfortable hearing my voice. And then I did that 30 days prior to my first episode of Black is the New Rich. And also another tip is read out loud. Like just pace in your house and read out loud, and that will help you listen to your voice and hear your voice. So that's what I will say for shy creators or creators that, you know, are a little bit timid.
Firstly, Cory, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Awesome. And could you tell the people a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Yeah, no problem. I'm a content creator, brand strategist. I do host 2 different podcasts. One called Black is the New Rich, one called Code Switch. But like as my full-time occupation, I'm a brand strategist and a marketer.
Awesome. Okay, so you're a brand strategist and marketer. And for those who have like no idea what that is, like, you know, give us a little snapshot of what that entails.
Okay, so for example, like if people or if my clients have a business or service, I just help them position themselves online in a way that they can attract clients.
Amazing. Yeah.
Make sense?
Yep. That makes total sense. Yeah, there you go. But you know, sometimes people, if you're not in the industry, you won't really understand exactly what that is. But okay, beautiful. Because I know that I first heard about you from your Black is the New Rich podcast, right? But it's interesting now to kind of get to hear a little more about, okay, actually your day-to-day is a little bit different, but still within the same, you know, realm, you know, in terms of what you're doing. Okay, awesome. So the first question I had for you was around, when did you first like figure out the connection between, you know, making content and cash, right?
Like when are you asking, like when did I figure out like I can make money off of it?
Exactly.
Okay, yeah. So for the last 8 years, I've been a videographer, photographer, and I've been doing a lot of work for other people, right? And then amongst that time, I developed a podcast called Black is the New Rich that grew fairly quickly. You know, like that, my page went up to like 10K quick. My TikTok page went to almost 30K following very quick.
Wow.
And then, you know, I figured that, you know, I want to step away from doing, you know, client work, videography, photography, because I'm just not really inspired by everyone's work anymore. No offense. Like,
no, I get it.
And I was like, you know what? All this experience that I gained over the last 8-9 years, let me package this up and let me teach people how to build community, how to build a personal brand, and eventually make money off that.
So what do you believe was the secret to your, you know, very quick success? Because I'll be honest, I did YouTube for like a year and a bit and I didn't get up to 10K, right? So like, I don't get me wrong, I did well, and it's funny how many people actually still come up to me and approach me about that. I'm like, oh, I didn't even know I had a big page like that. But what do you think was the secret sauce that really got you those numbers so early on?
I think the secret sauce in this scenario with Black is the New Rich was timing, because the George Floyd situation had happened, and I started doing things for the Black community around that time. So timing played a great part, and to be honest,
timing is big for everything.
Timing is everything. And the name, it's very bold, right?
It is.
So I feel like that combination of those two helped like propel to where it is today. Yeah.
And you know what? You are right, because even the name is so important,
Yeah.
right?
It's bold.
Yeah. And that's why, like, all now for certain things, like actually even this mini series I'm doing, I've still been like, you know what? I'm not gonna name it quite yet, because I don't feel like that name that I'm like, yes, that's it, has come to me, right? And it is important, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
I have a question though. Sorry, I know it's your podcast.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
You know, so you said you were on YouTube for a year, right?
Yeah.
So even me, I still find it a little bit more difficult to crack YouTube. What are you finding?
Well, I was on YouTube for a year.
Okay,
so prior to having my daughter, who's 4 now,
crap.
I was on YouTube because I actually came out of a very long-term relationship, was a marriage, and then I decided to start a YouTube channel on relationships.
Oof, that's a good subject.
Right?
That's a moneymaker right there.
Right? So I would have group discussions. Sometimes I just discuss things personally and whatnot. So I do think it was gaining traction, but then I think my main issue was keeping up with like doing things like every week having a video. Sometimes it'd be like a week, and then it'd be like a month, and then it'd be like, and then I'd be on like track for a while, and then it would fall off again. And then when I had my daughter, I was like, oh,
I got to be a mom first. Yeah, no, it's difficult.
Exactly.
I hear you.
So I think that was the most difficult part for me with it. But apart from that, a lot of people were like, damn, you should have kept going with that, like, you know, and all these kinds of things. But sorry, what, like, and see, I don't even remember your original question.
No. You
what was it?
No, it was like, I just want to know like how your YouTube experience was.
Yeah, but I would say it was still great because I met some friends from there who now are very close friends of mine. Like my realtor who I just, you know, bought and sold a house with, I met her from doing YouTube.
I'm telling you, but like,
right?
Yeah.
And me and her we're friends now, you know what I mean? And she also bought and sold my house, right?
Wow.
And then and we also do an event once a year for women. And then the other guy I met, I don't know if you might know him, Marvin Morgan. He's senior gunboy online too.
Maybe if I seen his photo, I'm not good at names.
But I met him also through just the whole YouTube journey, and we did like a date night event a couple of times, like where we put on.
I seen your content.
Yes, that's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
So like just from doing the YouTube, thank you. Yeah. But from doing YouTube, I feel like there was definitely a benefit. I think that my name got more out there. I think that I met a lot of good people who I still do things with now, you know, and then developed friendships. So yeah, I would say it was still a great experience, even though, you know, I didn't blow up or anything.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll go into the next question I have for you. I wanted to ask you more of a personal question, right?
Yeah.
So I want to know more about like your personal story, like kind of why, you know, this is important to you and like what keeps you grounded.
How far do you want to go back?
Well, you know, we only have so much time. But no, I'm joking. No, honestly, no. Go ahead. I want to hear.
Like high school, college-ish?
Yeah, sure. Start there.
Man, this could get quite lengthy. Okay, so high school, I was hooping. I was playing basketball.
Okay.
So I was like that athlete type of person, right?
Okay.
And then I did go on to college. I went to Sheridan College. I played basketball. I played varsity there as well.
Oh, okay.
And then none of this has to do with videography or photography. I was doing like business finance. Actually, I dropped like 3 different programs, if I'm being brutally honest. So like, what did I take? Early childhood education, community outreach, business finance, and I dropped every single one of them, to be, if I'm being 100% honest. And then in my last year is when I call it my dark days, you know, that's coming up. My dark days were coming up because I was hooping, and then I was just tired of being a broke student, right? So I was like, you know, this is getting difficult. I can't do all this being broke, playing basketball thing. So I said, I went to the street, to be honest.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
I was involved in that for quite a few, years, actually. But I always felt that I had more to me. You know, like I always felt like, okay, what I'm doing right now is not the best represent of myself or my family, to be honest with you. But it was fast money, and it was a lot of money, right? So it definitely, I developed the ego at the time. I developed bad habits, like, you know, when you're on that type of frequency, you attract people that
are on the same frequency.
On the same frequency. And I feel like in my later years, before I went cold turkey with it, I was like, you know what? At the end of the day, I probably gonna end up dead or in jail, to be honest with you.
Probably.
So I was just like, let me just pick up a camera and see what happens, because I always had a love for photography.
Okay.
Right? And I was like, I could do this, like, because I always had that photography eye. I was always artistic. So I picked up a camera, bought a camera, because money was coming very fast.
Yes.
And I went to YouTube University, Google University, and I taught myself.
Oh, wow.
And then here I am today, 8 years later. And that was it. Yeah.
Wow. No. But thank you for that, because you actually shortened it quite a bit, but you did good. You did good. Thank you. But that's I think it's also, let's be honest, I think it's also a pretty common story. I'm sure that a lot of people, fall into wanting the fast money, right? Especially if you come from a place where you don't really, like, I don't know what your parents' background was or what, socioeconomic status you guys were at. But especially if you don't come from a family with money, you're kind of like, okay, I want out of this, like, kind of like poverty lifestyle.
What I want and when I want it.
Exactly.
That was the mentality. So
no, 100%, because although I wasn't trapping or anything, right? Like, although I wasn't doing that, I do feel like I wanted to get out of school quickly and start making money, right? Whereas if I had rich parents, maybe I would have went and done a law degree. You know what I mean?
Or maybe you had rich parents and been ODing on drugs too.
Yeah, you know
never
what?
Know.
Facts. Because you're right. A lot of times their kids are the ones, unfortunately, that happens to. So you're right. I know some people like that, actually. So yes, you gotta just roll with whatever you're given, but at least you kind of found your way. So that's awesome.
Yeah. That's my quick background on how I got here today. And
okay, so a question. Okay, yeah, and I think that's great, because it's really inspiring for people to hear that too, because take something you're passionate in, try to see how you could potentially make money. Monetize that.
For sure.
And then from there, you don't know where that will lead you.
I just feel like at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what it is. I feel like what my advantage was my discipline at the end of the day. Like I said, I'm going to make this work. Like I don't believe in plan B's, first of all. So this is gonna work, or it's gonna work. And I believe what doesn't work for you is always working on you. So those early trials and tribulations, I was just, things were working on me. And then now things are working for me.
Exactly.
'Cause I stuck with it, and my discipline is pretty, I like my discipline. I like that about myself, is my discipline.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
I feel like often athletes have really good discipline too.
You have to, because it's either kill or be killed, depending what sport you play.
Yeah. No, that's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, I definitely want to make sure my daughter's into sports, even though I was more of a girly girl. I wasn't into sports at all.
That's the thing. I'll be very honest with you. Like, if I'm running a big company, and that this may sound bad or whatever, I don't care. Like, let's say you put out a job listing. If they didn't have any type of sports background, I'm not gonna hire them.
Really?
Yeah, because sports is so much bigger than the actual sports. There's teamwork, there's leadership, there's sacrifice, there's communication skills that you have to have. So I honestly wouldn't hire anyone that doesn't have
so I'm never getting hired.
Honestly, probably not, to be honest. I just feel like people with sports have they have a different level of grit. It's just different.
No, I totally see your viewpoint. Don't get me, I know I'm lit, I know I'm fired, but I see your viewpoint as to why you would hire athletes, because they do have a certain skill set that you attain from being an athlete, especially if you're a professional, getting to that really higher level of being an athlete, then you definitely have some of those skills for sure. All right, so I wanted to kind of switch over a little bit.
Yeah, no worries.
So you often talk about the value of consistency, right? And being authentic online, right? Yeah. So what do you think is one thing that new creators often get wrong?
As a new creator, I think they get it wrong. First of all, I think they chase virality. And I don't necessarily think that's the greatest idea to do, because let's say, for example, if you're a new creator and your second video you're going viral, or you went viral, then what?
Yeah, I know.
Then how do you know what to do? You don't even know what to do with all that traction, that energy, that attention. Your systems are not set up, and you probably won't even know how you got there and how to replicate it. So I think that's one of the biggest mistakes that new creators, they're just trying to go for instant like mega views, and I feel like there's steps before you want to get there.
Okay. And how would you define some of those steps that you would want to take before you get there?
I just feel like no matter, like for me, I use social media as like a business tool, right? Okay. So I think before you get to like wanting to go viral, like you should have an idea in your mind, like what product or service do you want to bring to the market?
Yes.
Right. And whether that's your own product or service or someone else's product or service as an affiliate, right?
Yes.
So once you get that established, then you could start to worry about the numbers or the views or how, like, you know, how far things go.
I think that is so smart. And actually, someone told me that early on when I was doing my YouTube channel on relationships, because I didn't really know where it was going. I just wanted to do it, and I just started.
See what happened,
right? But Nick Wavy,
that sounds familiar.
He also, he used to do YouTube, and then he did he had a cannabis store and stuff like that. But he told me early on, he goes, Dani, I wouldn't even really go for the trying to go viral or whatever, because it's so oversaturated now. Blah, blah, blah.
It doesn't mean anything.
And then, exactly.
It doesn't mean much.
Exactly. And then what he said, how you're actually going to make money is that if you have a product or service that you can then get, your community that you've built to to get to purchase or exactly. And I was like, okay, and that's what kind of started the wheels turning to kind of think of, what is potentially going to be that product or 100%. Service that I provide.
Even like what we were talking about earlier, like you had like a relationship type of YouTube, right? Like, if I were you at the time, or I'm not sure where you're with it now, but I would have some type of relationship course, mentorship, or something like that in the back end.
Yes.
Because relationships make money, finance make money, and health makes money.
Yes.
Those are the three sectors you can bank on right now, to be honest.
Well, see how you were able to think of that so quickly? Like, that's amazing. And when I went to another event, it's those Black guys from the States that have that financial event. Do you know what I'm talking about? Earn Your Leisure. Yeah. And they were just saying off of one business, you can create another business and another business and another business. Just 100%. Have them all interconnected and working with each other, right?
But not to cut you, but it's important to start with one and nurture one before you start thinking about all the pieces that go with it. Because I think people think about too much at once, and then they forget about why they're here, and then they burn out, and then that's it.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Actually, well, perfect. That leads right into my next question. I was going to say, when you are trying to go through that process to, become more visible, to, stay up, with your content and whatnot, how do you prevent that burnout and kind of just getting tired with it,
I think because I've burnt out before, but that was just, I burnt out, even though there's a lot of life things that were happening. I think preventing the burnout is giving yourself a realistic commitment. So for example, if you want to present yourself on social media and it's your first time, then don't make a commitment that you're going to post a video every day, because you're going to burn out. Right?
Oh, yeah.
So if it's once every 2 weeks, if it's once a week, if it's once a month, just stick to that till you've mastered that. And then when you feel like you're comfortable with that, then you kind of up it. Yeah, you can up it.
Okay.
So that's what I didn't do when it came to Black is New Rich. I just went 70 weeks straight podcast every week, bang, 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 bang.
But there's the discipline coming in, right? There's because
I'm crazy. That's why I'm crazy. That's what bottom line. I'm crazy, and then I realized that sometimes being crazy can be your own detriment. So, and I burnt out, and I haven't done it in a year.
Yeah, because you just had to take a break.
I had to take a break. I had to learn. I had to explore a little bit, and then I'll come back to it.
Okay. All right. So I know you've had many guests on your podcast, right? Especially Black is New Rich, right? What would you say was one either thing that was said that really stuck with you, or one guest that really stood out for you?
First of all, they're all great guests. All great
now
guests.
You're trying to be nice after you tell me you won't hire me and thing. Now you're trying to be nice to people.
They're all great guests, but the one that really sticks out the most is Banks, and that's because he was so vulnerable and honest about his story and his journey and his trials and tribulations with addiction. Okay. Right? And he was super open and honest, and I didn't even expect whatever came out of him, I didn't expect that at all. And I was just I was very thankful, because I feel like that type of story could help a lot of people, to be honest. And he's doing well now too, so.
Okay, awesome.
It was dope.
So you really just appreciated like the vulnerability.
The vulnerability was on another level.
Wow.
Yeah, it was on another level. That was one of my favorite podcasts that I've ever shot. And plus, like, you know, like even it got to some moments like he was tearing up. Oh, wow. You know, and then to show like, you know, a big strong black man tearing up, that I think there's power in that, to be honest.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Like I think of, it's so bad I was gonna say this, but I think of Tyrese when you say that, right? Because I know that he's often online being very vulnerable about things that have happened. But yeah, I think it is something that we do need to see, because you know, black men are allowed to cry, you are allowed to be 100%. Emotional, all of those things, right? Okay.
But yeah, that's the one that sticks out the most.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, shout outs to Banks. Okay. All right. So my next question is around our community and building generational wealth, right? Well, number one, I was going to say, what is one thing, to kind of flip the script, right, that you think we're getting right now that's not being talked about enough? Because everyone talks about, you know, what we're not doing, right? Where we're not strong, right? Yeah. But what do you think is one area where we are kind of doing it well?
Well, for one, what we're doing right now.
Exactly.
That's right. You know, like, because this is a collaboration, and this is going to go out in the world, and it could help someone, right? So I do think when it comes to collaborating, especially in Toronto, it's getting a little bit better. We're moving a little bit faster, even though I think it's still slow. But you know what? It still needs to be clapped for, because we are moving, you know? So I do see the collaborations. I do see the ego kind of dropping a little bit. And I think those things should be celebrated.
Yeah, no, definitely. I also see just the others wanting to support Black, you know, where I think for a while that wasn't really a thing.
No.
Like, I even remember, like, you know, I will let this person remain nameless, but I remember someone in my family actually saying they don't want to get a Black contractor to do my basement because they're not gonna do the work, or they're not gonna do a good job, and all this stuff, right? But like now, often that, you know, mindset I think is shifting. Like, we actually are wanting to support, you know, each other in Black business, like many other communities do.
Yeah, I will say this though, like, I am for all the Black movement and supporting Black business. However, I don't think it's conducive to support like bad business. You have to be good business first. And then Black business, you know, like just because they're Black, if they're doing bad business, then I don't think they should be supported or invested in, to be honest with you.
Well, of course. Yeah. I think if you have like shitty customer service,
like that you got to have your business right, and then Black kind of comes second, business comes first, and then being Black comes kind of secondary. Because I'm not gonna do it like just support just because you're Black and I know your business is shit.
No, that doesn't make sense, right? That doesn't make sense. But I think what I was kind of talking more about is just kind of giving them the chance, even, you know, because some people I think were at a point where they just didn't even want to support.
Yeah, and another thing too, another point I can make is that I notice, or I've heard that people, you know, they'll give a Black business a chance, and you know something happens, and that happens. That
happens with any business.
With any business, right?
Yep.
So I will say to that, like, you know, yeah, that is your experience, but like, let's say that happened at your favorite restaurant, would you go back? Right. So let's just give some grace, and you know, you may not go with that person, but don't write off all Black businesses.
Yeah.
Right. And have the same grace that you would have with your favorite restaurant, your favorite designer store that didn't like offer you champagne or whatever, whatever happened, you know. Just have that same energy.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, we can't be too quick. Yeah, you can't be too quick to write them off either, right? Exactly. Or just say, "Oh, that's why, you know, I don't support."
We're so quick to use that phrase, and it's just like, well, one, we're behind. Okay, so take that into consideration. Two, like, if people are trying, like, they're trying. I'm not telling you to keep on supporting them, like, you know, but just don't write off the race as a whole.
Yes, of course. Of course. Yeah. I think that's good advice. Yeah. That's good advice. All right. So, I wanted to ask, have you ever created a piece of content, right? Yes. Where you have received feedback that it really impacted someone, or someone shared that it was, you know, really touching for them. Yeah. Have you ever had that experience?
Yeah. Not to like brag or anything, but I have that a lot, you know, because I feel like with my angles on how I come off on the internet, like I can be very vulnerable at times, you know, So is there one piece of content? Not necessarily, because I know there's a lot of pieces that people have opened up on their DM, like this helped me because da 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 da.
Oh yeah.
Like for example, even that Banks interview that I was talking about previously, that helped a lot of people.
Yeah,
you know?
I can imagine.
And even the last post that I made about me getting fat in Houston, I was very vulnerable with that post because I'm on my fitness journey to lose about 15 and 20 pounds. I'm already down 9.
Oh, amazing!
Yeah, I'm already
That's
down.
good.
So I guess that post helped people because they're telling me in the DMs as well.
Okay, yeah, no, I think it does help to be vulnerable because a lot of times we all are. Like, even though we think we're all so different, we all often are dealing with a lot of similar things.
100%. And honestly, like, even to my clients, I always tell them, like vulnerability is your superpower online. That's how you become relatable. That's how you build a community. Because before anyone buys the coaching, they're going to buy into the coach first. Ooh. And if you, you can't show that you've been through struggles as well, you're gonna come off as too perfect, and you never want to become too perfect online. You want to be relatable, not perfect.
Yeah, you want to have that realness, that authenticity. And I think some people shy away from showing that because they 100%. Think that's gonna make you not look reputable, not look all of these things, but it does the opposite.
Even to my female clients, I tell them all the time, like, don't even come online looking all done up all the time. Like, it's okay if you have a messy one, you have a message, just, shoot it, like, look real, look authentic.
Yeah.
Like, we know, everybody knows in real life, nobody can be done up all the time.
100%.
Yeah. So just be more you and show up as your most authentic self.
Yeah, no, you know what? That's a good one too, because I know that on TikTok that's big too. Just coming really authentic, like in your bed with your bun and everything.
Yeah, but TikTok is for authenticity.
Yeah,
it's for the iPhone, it's for the Android. It's not. These cameras here, like, I don't think TikTok does as well. From what I noticed.
Yeah, I think I know. One girl I know who does a lot of work in that area too, she's told me, if you go on TikTok, just use your phone. Like, just like,
you don't need.
She's like, you don't need any fancy stuff. Just like go on your phone.
Instagram's a little bit more polished, but you can still get away with your phone as well.
Okay. Yeah. Well, thank you for those little tips. See, so you don't need to have a whole studio and expensive cameras to get content out there, right? Obviously, there's a time and place for everything, but depending on what you're doing, but you can always still start anywhere,
And you know what, to be honest, I actually, for my clients, I prefer them to use their iPhone for their personal brands, because just like subconsciously, when you see a video that's too put together, it almost gives the illusion as like
it's not real.
No, not even not real, but this person's selling to me.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? So I want to, like, I always tell people, use your phone because it comes off as you being the most authentic.
Okay. So well, thank you for that tip, right? It actually kind of leads into the next question, because I'm sure a lot of people are afraid to start just content creation, right? Yeah. Either because they feel like their voice doesn't matter, maybe they don't have the look and whatnot. I was going to say, what like tip would you give people that are, they want to, but they have that initial fear?
Oh, yeah. Well, I feel like I can help with that because, one, I'm naturally introverted. Right? Oh, yeah, naturally introverted. Okay. So, like, because I spent a lot of time behind the camera, what I did to help me get comfortable in front of the camera was, for 30 days, I would just talk into my phone. Okay. And then listen to that video, and it'll be so cringeworthy. Oh, but I just wanted to hear my voice and get comfortable with hearing this voice, because when you're introverted or you're behind the camera like I was, you don't really hear your voice too much, right? So like, I just wanted to get comfortable hearing my voice. And then I did that 30 days prior to my first episode of Black is the New Rich. Okay. And also another tip is read out loud. Like, just pace in your house and read out loud, and that will help you listen to your voice and hear your voice. So that's what I will say for shy creators or creators that, are a little bit timid to come online. That'll help.
That's amazing. Yeah. No, that actually makes a lot of sense. I know you don't really know me like that, but I actually was never a shy or timid person. I've always been pretty like extroverted, kind of have a lot of friends, big friend group, like kind of always been a person that was always like a connector. Like I used to throw parties when I was like 19 to like 24. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that.
So you're the loud one.
Huh? I'm the loud one. I'm out here. But like, obviously now at this age, kind of calmed it down a bit. Yeah. But still that, you know, same personality is there. But I also had fears around doing the YouTube, just like around oh, are people gonna watch it? Are they gonna be like, oh, who is she to give this kind of advice? Especially, oh, she's divorced, then she's talking about relationship, right? All of those types of, you know, different types of fears, right? Not really about being in front of the camera, but more just about the judgment or the scrutiny or things that can come up, because as soon as you put yourself online, you know how it is, how those trolls be.
This is why I say they judge Jesus, so like I'm not worried about anyone's judgment, because at the end of the day, I don't think anybody's gonna be all liked, you know. There's gonna be some type of haters no matter what you do, because they're gonna see a different angle that they want to see. So you know, like I just feel like you have to have some sort of tough skin, you know. And I just feel like, you know, if you're doing a business or a service and it's for everybody and everyone's supposed to like you, then you're probably gonna have a tough time being successful.
100%. You know? Yeah, 100%. And yeah, I agree. And I don't think anyone would even have thought I was someone to care, because I don't give off that air. But inside, you might be like, you know, you might have that thought. So I guess what it is to kind of tell that thought or that voice in your head that, you know, whether they like me, whether they don't, you know,
who cares?
It doesn't matter, right?
It doesn't matter.
And there will be so much more, I think, that are showing you love and that 100%. Do like you, because I found that the love outweighed the hate.
100%. Like I'll give you an example. So I was in Houston, and my boy plays in the NBA.
Yes.
And his name's Dylan Brooks, right? Okay. So he got like
I have no idea who that is. You know, I'm not an athlete.
It's okay. I'm not an athlete. So his persona,
but I'm sure he's popular.
Yeah, he's popular, and his persona in the NBA is kind of like that rough type of player. Okay. Like he's very physical, what have you. So he gets a lot of hate. Oh. So his, like, because we collab post, like he doesn't have Instagram on his phone, but because we collab post, I get to see all the hate comments. Oh. And it's ridiculous.
Oh, I can imagine.
It's ridiculous. But like even him, like you still has to keep his head focused, you know, like the main thing always has to be the main thing. And it doesn't matter what people said. They're like keyboard warriors.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And often those people, like honestly, the people I think that would be spending their time like hating, probably don't have much going for themselves.
100%.
So
and I will say one last thing is that, you know, if you're new or you're coming up and you do have, you know, some hate comments or what have you, I would probably almost never answer. Yeah. You know, because then when you answer, then someone else is gonna be like, oh, what about this? And then what about this? You know, unless you really feel the need that your reputation is being tarnished, then you have to.
What about deleting it?
No, I'll leave it there too. I leave all of them there. Yeah, just,
you know what? Yeah, so funny. Yeah. One time I got like a bad hate comment, right? And I just left it.
Yeah, you just leave it
because I just said, you know what, whatever. Like this person's a hater.
And a lot of people will answer for you.
I left it, right? But then one of my friends was like, "Oh, why would you leave it? They're not even showing their picture, you know, on their comment. Like you should delete it, right?" And then I remember anyway. So like a while later, I ended up deleting it. But that's an interesting perspective too, because just don't feed it.
Yeah, just don't feed it. And at the end of the day, like this is a free platform and it's a platform of opinions.
Yes, and exactly.
Just because someone doesn't align with my opinion, I want other people to see where this person's coming from.
Yeah, that's true.
That's how I see it.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. All right. Well, Cory, thank you so much.
No worries.
For coming and just like, you know, sharing your knowledge with us, sharing your time, you know, and and for everybody, you know, remember to go out and, you know, start doing some sports, because otherwise Cory's not going to hire you. But any last words, Cory? Or
any last words? I'll say, honestly, if you're looking to get into content creation, you're going to always feel that nervous feeling. Like I would just say, just start. Just start, and start with what you have. Yes. Don't worry about all these fancy cameras, these fancy lightings, because you know what? There are kids that are 21 years old making millions of dollars off their iPhone.
Trust me.
And there's no reason that any of us
can't do that as well.
There you go.
Yeah. And that there's an audience for everyone.
100%.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. If you guys have any other questions for us, feel free to write them down below, you know, or any comments, because we love to hear from you. And once again, thank you, Cory, and we're out.
All right, thank you. That was dope. Thank you.